Retirement is all about reclaiming your time. As a kid, it might have seemed endless, spending your time restless with grandparents, learning to walk, starting school, running around, playing with friends, taking tests, graduating high school, moving out, getting a girlfriend, starting university, breaking up, getting your heart broken, graduating university, finding the love of your life, starting your first job, having kids, changing jobs 1, 2, 3 times, raising your children, driving them to school, birthday parties, girlfriends, boyfriends, moving them out, watching them study university, starting their first job, having kids, growing all of a sudden. Before you know it, you are the grandparent babysitting your grandchildren. Somewhere along the way, the ultimate goal became the cozy, government-sponsored retirement you paid into your whole life. All you ever wanted. Take back control of your time. Following in the steps of your parents. Eat, sleep, work, repeat until you finally retire. But little did you know, the pyramid scheme of retirement was going to break down before you ever got to use it. The entire world working against you. Everything, even including time itself. Now it is too late. No matter how much you save, you are never able to retire. At least that is how your future could look like. But because you are here, you are ahead of most people. The truth is, to retire, you will need to be smarter than previous generations. It will stop being easy. But you have enough time. Later this video, I will tell you the recipe for how to reach a happy retirement. And if you do it right, it could even be an early one. But first, you need to understand the problem. The only reason most people are able to retire today is Social Security. 84% of people rely on it. In extreme cases, giving $3,000 a month if you used to have a low income. Or barely enough to retire on. The number you are looking at for a normal retirement is 80%. You should be able to sustain 80% of your pre-retirement expenses. Today, the average retiree spends $48,000 annually or $4,000 a month. So luckily, Social Security already gets you most of the way there. The problem is Social Security is about to come crashing down. If it is the only thing you rely on, your retirement will be one where you struggle every single day to even feed yourself. So, Social Security. Created in 1935, a time of rapid industrialization, high population growth, and an economy in tatters. But most importantly, demographics were very different as well. Back in 1935, there were 4 million retirees to a population of 127 million. 50 of which were working. 12 working adults for every single retiree. Today there are 47 million retirees to a population of 330 million. 164 million of which are working. Only 3.5 working adults per retiree. Just like the rest of the world, when a nation gets more developed, birth rates fall, giving an aging population, eventually leading to population collapse. But the key point for Social Security is where the money is coming from. You are the one funding it through a 12% tax on your income. And this money is not being put into a savings account for you to use when retiring. It is used to pay out current retirees. Today, because of the increased proportion of retirees, not even this is enough. This means Social Security is digging into their investments. All in all, if nothing changes, Social Security will run out of money by 2035, 100 years after it was started, which of course it will. A system having their expenses increased by a factor of 10 but its income only increased by 50% will eventually break down. Either retirement age increases, taxes to fund Social Security increase, or the entire government-sponsored Ponzi scheme comes crashing down. All this means you need to be ready to fend for yourself. You have to save enough money to be able to spend those $48,000 a month. You need to save at least $1.4 million before you retire. Putting your money into a savings account is not going to cut it. You would have to save $3,000 a month your entire career to reach that number. Investing will bring you closer though. You only need $500 a month. But sadly, I lied to you. 1.4 million is not enough. When your life starts coming to an end, all the money you have saved will be worth a quarter of what it was when you started saving. Could you live on $12,000 a year? The reason is inflation, a hidden 2% tax a year that everybody pays, and one that politicians are very thankful for. Without it, they would actually need to balance the budget. Inflation is actually necessary. Otherwise, countries would probably go bankrupt multiple times over, as they cannot inflate away debt over decades. But it is a tax so massive that over your lifetime it will eat up 70% of your wealth. You need to keep it in mind, because you are different. You don't just spend like crazy. You want to be financially stable when you retire. You don't want to be forced into poverty, made to beg when you are 90. But most importantly, you realize the power of compound interest. The power to turn $500 today into $10,000 in 40 years. Compound interest is the secret gold transmutation formula alchemists were searching for thousands of years. Like I mentioned earlier, if you invest $500 a month, you will end up with $1.6 million for retirement. $1,000 a month, you have $3.2 million. But maybe you cannot afford to save $1,000 a month. Well, what if I told you there is a way for you to end up with $2.2 million by saving only $100 a month? Or if you save $1,000 a month, end up with 22 million. It is not as easy as putting your money in an S&P index. It will require time, being humble for what you do not know, and lots of patience. But in exchange, the rewards are limitless. What you do is that you follow in the footsteps of one of the greatest investors of all time, Warren Buffett. He developed a foolproof method to make money, lots of money, in the stock market. It does not require you to be a genius, having gone to Harvard for 25 years. In fact, it might be better that you have not. If you choose to learn the ways of Buffett, it is very possible to achieve a 15% return year over year. That means your money increases by a factor of 4 every 10 years. It might not seem like much, but over 40 years you will turn $100 a month into 2 million. Your mission, your only mission, is to find a handful of companies over your lifetime. With them, you will get this 15% return. And Warren Buffett has a 4-step checklist to follow when you look at the company. Number 1. You must be able to understand the company. How does it make money? Why is it not just a fad? Number 2. The business needs a competitive advantage, a moat to protect their cash cow. What makes the castle so defensible no one would even try attacking it? Number 3. Ideally, the management has talent. Companies generally do not make it with idiots in charge. More importantly though, management must have integrity, otherwise they will simply steal your money. Number 4. The company must be cheap to buy. You can find the best business in the world, but if you overpay, you will never, ever make a profit. You need a margin of safety. Do not buy a business for more than half of what you think it is worth by looking at the future cash it will generate. Learning what this formula means and applying it yourself. This is how you can retire, no matter your age, background or wealth. But if you don't and rely on a government-sponsored retirement, you may be in deep trouble. Because just like any other Ponzi scheme, Social Security will someday finally break, and right now it is on the brink of collapse. Alright, that is the end of the video. Everybody who made it this far, thank you very much. You can watch this video next to learn of the paradigm shift the stock market is going through that has put us in the current recession. And finally, have a nice day.